everyone, it's Tasha Lee Maldonado from the group, and I am coming at you today with Monday's Healthy Monday post for the day. And I would like to tell you guys to excuse my attire. I'm actually getting ready to go to the gym before I make this, so that's why I'm in my gym clothes and have my hair wrapped and minimal makeup today. But anyway, let's get to the point. Today I want to talk about food, and when it comes to keeping ourselves healthy, exercise and food combined is what we need to concentrate on. So today we're talking about food, which is portion control and calories. And you know how we do in the United States. We do not like to have one piece of chicken. We want 2 or 3 pieces of chicken. We don't want to have that 4-ounce steak, 3-ounce steak. We want a 12-ounce steak or a 16-ounce steak. That's not exactly the way to do things if you want to actually lose weight. What you need to do to lose weight is control your portions. And it doesn't really matter if you, well, actually it does matter, but let me backtrack a little bit. When it comes to losing weight, the things that count are your exercise to your calorie ratio. But we're not talking about exercise today, even though exercise is important. We're just talking about your calorie ratio to your exercise. And it doesn't matter if you're eating steak every day, or if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, or if you're a meatitarian, like my friends like to say that eat a lot of meat. Doesn't matter. What actually matters when it comes to losing weight is the amount of calories you put into your body. So if you want to eat, let's say your calories for the day is 1,600 calories a day. If you eat 1,600 calories of junk food and you go exercise at 17 or 1,800 calories off, you're still going to lose weight. It's not exactly the healthiest way to do it, but you're still going to lose weight. So, but what we want to do is to try to do it the healthy way. We want to make sure that we make a balance, a healthy balance of proteins, vegetables, fruits, and dairy products, so we can make sure that our bodies stay healthy and get all the vitamins that we need. So let's say you decide you don't want to eat meat, you're a vegetarian or a vegan. You don't have to eat meat to get your protein. However, if you want to lose weight properly and build up muscle, you have to get protein. And there are different sources of protein. You can get protein from lentils, eggs if you're a vegetarian. If you're a vegan, you can get it from beans. There are certain soy milk, tofu. You can get protein from different places. But if you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, that's okay. You can still get your protein from meat, lean cuts of meat. Like if you're gonna eat a hamburger, don't go for the 80-20, 80% meat and 20% fat. No, go for the 97-3. 97% lean meat and 3% fat. Yeah, you're gonna have to add a little bit of olive oil to that to keep that from drying out or whatever, or go for the 85-15. That's even better than the 80-20, and you have the perfect ratio of fat to meat, and the fat actually cooks off, and all you're left with is the lean meat, and you don't have to add any oil to the pan or to the grill or whatever you're doing to cook your burgers on. So go for that 85-15. It costs a little more, but it's worth it in the long run. Or go for the ground chicken or the ground turkey. That is also a good source of protein. And when we're going for our protein, you know how we are in the South. I'm a Texan and I grew up a vegan, and just like Erykah Badu's song says, I'm Southern fried, I like my tofu fried. Yeah, we, even Southern vegans, we fry our tofu. I'm not a vegan now, but that's what we did. That's what we do. We like everything fried, which is not a good idea either. Do not eat all of your food fried. Do not eat all of your protein fried. Do not eat all your tofu fried. Do not eat all of your chicken fried. Every now and then is not that big of a deal, but it's better to either put it in the oven or to boil it. And I know some people are like, oh, boil it, it looks disgusting. But no, if you take a chicken breast and you boil it, and then you take it out of the pot, put some salt and pepper on it, a little bit of other spices, it's really actually pretty good. So Yeah, try that. And I would like to also give you 10 tips to reduce portion sizes and to eat less. Let's talk about that for a minute. Tip number 1, balance your calories. Find out how many calories you specifically need for a day as a first step in managing your weight. And I'm going to go ahead and link you, if you look in the description box, I will link you to a chart that actually tells you how many calories you need for your age. Well, it's not actually how many calories you need, it's a guideline for how many calories you need for your age, your sex, and your activity level. So a 18-year-old male who is extremely active would need to eat a lot more calories than a 40-year-old woman who's not so much active. So look for that chart. And incidentally, if you really want to know specifically for your body type, go ahead and make an appointment with your doctor or the local nutritionalist or the nurse at your kid's school. Sometimes they do that. I don't know what they're doing in the rest of the country, but around here the nurse will take time out and discuss things with you and figure out a plan. So if you want to do that specifically, figure out your plan. If you want to just go by the general guidelines, you can go ahead and click on the link in the description box below. And tip number 2 is to enjoy your food but eat less. Take time to fully enjoy your food as you eat it. Eating too fast, or when your attention is elsewhere, like watching TV or whatever, something like that, may cause you to not actually pay attention to what you're doing and not pay attention to your hunger and your fullness cues, and you wind up eating more than you should. So you get that really full feeling where you ate so much food that you're actually absolutely miserable. That's not something you should be doing. If you're miserable, that tells you right there you should have stopped a long time ago. Also, if you're thinking that you're still hungry, go ahead and drink a glass of water, because a lot of times we think we're hungry and we're actually thirsty. As we get older, our thirst mechanisms and our hunger mechanisms get mixed up because we've been going all these years not drinking enough water to begin with. So we sometimes think that we're hungry when we're actually just thirsty. Okay, tip number 3. Take your time. Savor your food, eat slowly, enjoy the taste and the textures in your mouth, and pay attention to how the food makes you feel. I mean, I'm a foodie. I love to eat, but that does not mean that I have to overeat just because I enjoy it. So be mindful what you're doing, and eating very quickly can cause you to eat too much. So go ahead and just eat slowly and enjoy the meal. Tip number 4, avoid oversized portions. Portion out your foods before you eat, and make sure to know what size portions are the correct size, because if you like to eat steak, a 12-ounce steak is not exactly the portion size for one person. That's actually the portion size for 4 persons. So don't eat for 4, eat for 1. And when it comes to things like a chicken breast, you're not supposed to be eating 2 and 3 chicken breasts at one meal. 1 chicken breast will do you. And also, when we're eating our snacks and things like that, go ahead and read the back of the package to see which the portion size is supposed to be, because you would be surprised that that 99 cents bag of chips may just actually, that's about that big, may have 6 portions in it. So you're sitting there, you eat the whole bag of chips, you probably ate 600 calories right there. So go ahead and check on the back of the bag of the product and see how many, if the chip bag says 12 chips equal 1 portion, and that 1 portion is 150 calories, just eat 12, put the rest away. And that way you don't overeat, you enjoy your snack, and you have your allotted amount of calories for the day. Tip number 5, use a smaller plate. use a smaller plate at meals to help with your portion control. That way you can finish your entire plate and feel satisfied because you look at your plate and it's completely empty and you're satisfied without overeating. So when I say use a smaller plate, you know, don't use the plate with the 13-inch diameter that most of us have in our homes. No, that's not the size we're supposed to be using. Use the plate that is around 9 inches in diameter. The smaller plate that you probably give your toddler is the one that you should be using for yourself. So not only are you probably using it, if you're using that 13-inch diameter plate, you're probably eating enough for 2 people at one sitting, which will cause you to overeat, gain weight, and no matter how much exercise you do, you're gonna hit that plateau, not know what's going on. It's because you're eating too much. Tip number 6, foods to eat less often. Cut back on foods high in solid fats, added sugars and salt. These things are like cakes, cookies, candies, ice cream, sweetened drinks, pizzas, fatty meats like ribs, sausages, bacon, hot dogs, you know, the things that we like to eat. Use food as an occasional treat, but not as, use these kind of foods as an occasional treat, like once a month, once every 6 weeks, but not something that you eat every single day. Okay, so that is tip number 6. Tip number 7, avoid extra fat. Using heavy gravies or sauces will add fat and calories to an otherwise healthy choice. For example, if you take a steamed broccoli, which is really nice and healthy for you, don't dump a cheese sauce on top of that, because then that turns into, that healthy piece of broccoli that you had turns into junk food. Because you know that cheese sauce not only has cheese in it, but it also has flour, which is extra calories. It also has the fat to make the sauce, to make the roux, because you have to have a fatty oil and the flour to make the roux, and then you add the cheese in it. So when you make the roux to begin with, to make the cheese sauce, all your calories are there. So try something else. Instead of putting the cheese sauce on top of your broccoli, try to do something like sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top, or put a squeeze of lemon, lime on top of there and some salt and pepper and eat that bad boy. Tip number 8, foods to eat more often. Eat more vegetables and fruits and whole grains, and fat-free or 1% milk if you drink milk, and fat-free or 1% dairy products. These foods have the nutrients you need for your health, including potassium, calcium, vitamin D, and fiber, but they are low on the fat. Make sure you use these as the basis for your meals and snacks. Make sure you use the lower fat version. That does not mean go out and buy a tub of margarine to replace your butter. You might want to go ahead and eat real foods as well, because margarine is 1 molecule away from being plastic. Yeah, plastic. So I would choose 100% real butter 7 days out the week and just eat less of it before I go buy, I can't believe it's not butter, because it's not really butter, because it's basically 1 molecule away from being plastic. Yeah, eat your butter. It's good for you. Just eat less of it. Tip number 9, drink water instead of sugary drinks. You can cut your calories by drinking water before you drink things like sodas, energy drinks, sports drinks, and juice. Yeah, because those are a source of added sugar and calories that you really don't have to have in your diet. You can just drink water. And when I say juice, I'm talking about 100% fruit juice. 100% fruit juice is okay occasionally. This is not something you should do all day long. And if you have children, do not give them apple juice all day long, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. They will get fat, because apple juice has almost as much sugar in it as soda does, believe it or not. Don't believe me? You can go ahead and look in the apple juice in your cabinet, turn it over and look at how much sugar is in there, and then compare it to a bottle of soda. You'll see almost as much sugar as a bottle of soda does. So go ahead and limit your juice intake and your soda and your energy drinks and things like that. Limit those things. Just drink water instead. Water has everything you need to hydrate your body. And unless you're really trying to bulk up and you're weightlifting and you're trying to get into that Ironman contest, you really don't need to have all that extra stuff. Just drink you some water. And the last but not least, tip number 10 is take control of your food. Eat at home more often, so you know exactly how much you're eating and what you're eating. And if you eat out, compare the nutrition information, because you know restaurants nowadays legally they have to provide you with the nutrition information if you ask for it. It should be on the menu. Even Subway has the nutrition information. McDonald's has the nutrition information on the menu. So go ahead and compare the nutrition information to make sure you're not overeating, eating too many calories or things like that. You would be amazed what you thought was healthy before may not exactly be healthy because of all the extra they put in it when you're at a restaurant. So choose healthier options such as baked foods or fried foods instead. That is my health segment for the day, and those are my 10 tips to help you reduce your calorie intake so that you can be more healthy, lose a little bit of weight, or lose a lot of weight if you need to, or just get in healthy, better shape. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to look in the description box below for the links for the calorie intake. I will also have a link in there for portion control, so you can check that out too, because a portion of ice cream is not exactly the entire pint of ice cream. Portion of ice cream is really only a half a cup. Yeah, that much. That's how much ice cream we should be eating. Maybe 2 scoops at the most. A portion of chicken is not 3 chicken legs. It's 1 chicken leg. If your meat is not just your meat, your protein in general, if your protein such as your meat or your tofu is bigger than a deck of cards, you're eating too much. If you are eating 4 sandwiches a day on top of 10 tortillas, you're eating too much. Your grain intake, your grains intake should be no more than 6 ounces a day. So if you're making a homemade tortilla and you're making the size for a soft taco, that would be about 1 ounce. You can technically eat 6 of those in one day. I eat about 6 of those in one day and be okay, as long as you don't eat any more grains for the day. That means no bread, no rice, only those 6 tortillas. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure you guys check in the description box and check out those links that I'm talking to you about. And I'll see you guys next Monday for our Monday health segment. This is Tasha Lee Maldonado. See you next time.